Well, we're going to do modify, the modify tab here in our sketch mode. Um, we have, as you see, move, copy, rotate, split, extend, trim, scale, stretch, and offset. Most of these are very familiar to us from AutoCAD, but what you're going to find is that the rotate, copy, and move commands differ a little bit in Inventor. There's one more question that gets asked as we try to manipulate these objects. So let's draw a rectangle over here, okay, and let's draw a line down our center, okay, and I can pick this line and go up here and go to vertical constraint, and notice how it straightened it right up, okay. And I'm going to draw a circle over here, okay, and what else we got here? Arcs, circles, lines, okay. So I think we're good to go there, okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go over here, and the first one, which we've already done with a little bit, was the move command, okay. I pick the object, and in this case I have to do a crossing box because it's 4 individual entities, as you saw. The select button is already chosen, so I pick base point. I pick a point on the object, and I just bring it over here and drop it, okay. Now what about if I want to move it at a certain amount, okay? So I'm going to escape here, and first of all I'm going to measure this just for fun to see what the distance is, okay? It's 23, okay? We'll call it 23, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to want to move this piece I'm going to move this circle 50. So let's go move again. It's already ready to select. I pick base point. I pick this, then I go up to go precise input. I come over sideways, and I have to go up to the Inventor precise input bar, and I'm going to go in the X position. I'm going to go 50, okay, and I need to put also a 0 because I'm not going up or down, so it needs to know where it's going to go, okay. So we'll keep this here for a second, okay, and let's move this one back, okay. Pick a base point. Okay, and I'm still in my precise input, okay, so I'm going to go negative 50, and I'm going to go negative 30, and let's see what happens, and hit enter, and there it is. So we went down 30 and over 50, okay. So you can move things just like we do in Cartesian coordinates. It is more of a relative coordinate. It is a relative coordinate from the point that you're starting, but it is the positive and negative of the Cartesian coordinate system, okay. Now one of the other things you can do is you can hit copy here. So I'm going to undo my precise, and my select is still on. I'm going to pick my piece, okay. I'm going to go now, pick a base point, and I'm going to come over here and drop that there, okay. So notice I made a copy. Let's do that one more time. Have copy on, select, okay. Oops. Oh, come on. Let's do that again. It's already in select, so I just grab my object, I pick copy, base point, grab it, and move it. There you go. So that is how it's a little bit different, okay? And sometimes when there's geometry in moved, it asks you if you're willing to give up that geometry. So and you'll have to answer yes to that question. Okay, so we've done copy. Now copy is another command by itself, obviously. Select is already there. We can go to the clipboard if we want. And we can optimize for a single selection. Let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, so we're going to pick our base point. Okay, and I pick the base point down here. It doesn't matter where I pick base point, but okay. And notice I can do multiple copies. Okay, if I want to. That's the nice thing about copy as opposed to move. Move only lets you do one. Copy lets you do multiples. So we go copy again. Okay. Let's see what happens when we go to the clipboard. Okay, and Now, that was interesting. Did you see how I highlighted? I'm not quite sure why it does that, but we'll have to play with that. Okay, rotate. Okay, select the object. Select the center point. I'm going to select this as my center point. And the geometry being consists of other. Would you like the constraints removed? And this is the little message I told you that's going to come up. And yes, I want it to be removed. It was constrained by the horizontal and vertical is what it was constrained about. And you notice I can just move it, or I can go up here and put it in a degree. Okay, so if I put in 75 and go apply, we just rotated it 75. I think we'll see that again if we go over here. Okay. Notice I'm not hitting enter, I'm just picking the next thing and I'm selecting it. Wants to know if I want to give up my constraints, and I go yes, and it allows me to move it around, and there we go. Okay, so that is move, copy, and rotate. Okay, some other things are offset, which we've played with before. Okay, and the difference between offset here is that in AutoCAD you define the offset distance before you pick the piece. Here you just pick the piece and then you define it by giving it a dimension. I'm going to pull this down here, and there we go. And so if I wanted that to be 20, okay, it would do. Now notice what happened there. It kept the outside one as the object. I haven't played with that before. So what can we do here? I think what we're going to have to do then is dimension, right click, align, and right click, align. Now let's see what happens when we change this to 20. There we go. So you're going to have to define one of the other objects for you to be able to do that offset and have it not have it squish the wrong one. Stretch is kind of a funny little one. I don't understand why they have stretch, but I'll show you how it works. Okay, pick your base point, and do you want to remove them? Yes, we do, and we pull it out here. Okay, now what I don't understand about stretch is why wouldn't you just go up here and dimension it and type in the distance you want to stretch it to. So those are things I haven't played enough with to really deal with that kind of an issue. Okay, I think you've already used extend and trim. Okay, so extend, we pick and just extend it to there. Okay, trim, we come back and trim to. Okay. That's interesting that you can trim in the middle of the piece. Now split. Now, I have not used split before. So what do we have here? Split. So I'm going to have to find out about split, and I'll give that to you in another video in the future.